But
You don't want a Mickey Mouse romper?
nope, I don't want the snaps or the onesies.
I don't know, though. Like, as I'm getting older, those snaps to go to the bathroom. Goosh. All right, so
Welcome back to the Mom Talk
yeah, we're a baby's nap.
and Mom's Yap.
Yep. So I'm Ashley,
I'm Maddie.
and today I think we're going to talk about convictions. Yeah, so go for it.
Yeah, so the first thing is just like, what are some convictions we've had lately? I know for me, like, just over the last year, it's been more like about modesty and what I'm wearing. I never really wore anything revealing, but there's been a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this isn't revealing, but it's still not like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't wear that, you know? And so just trying to implement that in what I'm wearing and making sure things are a little bit more covering and not just in the sense of girls need to cover up. Like, actually, when you come down to the understanding why it's important, and when I learned just, it's not even just like, oh, because of the men. It's just like also where my heart posture is towards the Lord, and understanding and like the way I dress represents the Lord, and I don't want to represent him poorly. And if I'm dressing in a certain way that's attention seeking to me, then it's like, how am I giving attention to him?
Yeah.
Or reverting that attention to him.
Yeah, because it's almost like you want it on yourself and not pointing.
Yeah, and there's nothing
towards the
wrong with
Lord.
wanting to look nice. Like, my intention is still to look nice, but not in the way of like, that's where all of the attention is being diverted. And so that's been a big thing for me. And then with that, like keeping that in mind with when I'm buying my kids their clothes. And I want to set Phoebe up for that too.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy. These kids' clothes nowadays, I'm like, why does a 2-year-old need a triangle bikini top? Like, that makes no sense. Or the booty shorts, like, I don't even understand.
yeah. And it's like, I get they're just babies, but it's still...
That's where it starts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like still out there.
Yeah.
And so I just choose to start that now. And what I buy is what, like, would I wear this kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily wear that specific thing because I'm not a baby, but...
You don't want a Mickey Mouse romper?
Nope, I don't want the snaps or the onesies.
I don't know, though. Like, as I'm getting older, those snaps to go to the bathroom, that's legit.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, that's been like on my heart lately. It's just more about like what I'm wearing, and then also how I'm stewarding my time and money and things like that. Of just, am I doing this just for me, or is this for other people? And just trying to be more generous and not be so stuck in what's mine, how's this going to affect me, you know? And so I'm trying to just do that on a daily basis, just focus on other people.
Yeah, because, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, all of it's the Lord's. So it's like, who am I to say no, I guess? It's kind of like a rule when I go out with people and stuff like that. It's like, I mean, what is it going to hurt me to buy somebody a coffee or to buy them breakfast? Like, it makes their day. It shows the love of the Lord, and it doesn't hurt me any. I may not get a coffee the next day, but...
Yeah. It's hard because, especially when I was working, it was definitely not an issue to worry about.
Yeah.
But then now that I'm not working, it's just putting a lot more trust in the Lord, and I have it. But then it's that like verse where it's like, I believe, but help my unbelief. Because I know the Lord's provided in every way leading up to this. So why would he just stop providing? Yeah. And so it's just me still leaning on that and trusting in that and not giving up on that trust. But then sometimes I see the numbers and I'm still a little like, this is a little crazy.
It's a little tight.
But then I am reminded though, like we still are in like a really good spot compared to some people that it's just easy to get like lost in the credit cards and stuff. I'm really glad we had good people in our life when we first got married that were giving us really good advice to set us up for success. And then we're able to like share that with all of our other younger friends, like with your son and stuff. We're like, this is the best advice we could give you. And he's like, I'm gonna start now. I'm not even married yet, but he's like, I'm starting that now. And then that way he's set up for success.
Yeah.
And so that's been helpful for us. And then it's just getting me to like calm down and not be so fixated on the numbers, because even though logically things don't make sense, the Lord is outside of that logic and he'll make everything happen. Like we saw with the fish and the bread. How did all of that feed thousands of people? It just did. Don't question it. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to remind myself.
Don't question. Don't question where your bread's coming from.
Exactly. What about you?
Man, I think for me lately is definitely like, and I think it's because I'm getting older and I have a child getting married, one that's graduating, one that is going into her junior year, is just like spending more time as being a mom. Because I have been in ministry in some way since before I was pregnant with my youngest, and he's now 10. And I feel like I have missed so much. Even being a youth leader and my kids being in youth group, like it's still, I'm missing it because I'm so focused on, okay, like my kids are good. And then there's other kids over here. And then I don't see how that's affecting them until they come to me and they're like, hey, like you didn't notice this. And I'm like, crap, I did not notice.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, so I think for me, my conviction is I've been stepping away from things more, which is really hard. I mean, I really do enjoy being a youth leader, but I think my season is coming to an end, and saying no to people, because sometimes I can be a people pleaser, and stewarding my time as a daughter of God, stewarding my time as a wife and as a mother. And I think that's kind of where I'm at this point in my life. So, but it's been hard because I've said no to some camps, which I love going to camp. I love videoing, doing video work for camp and just seeing the excitement and stuff like that. But I have a kid at home. So it's like, I mean, he probably wants my time just as much. And so I have to like, and I'm not saying being a parent, you can't be in ministry. I think there's a beautiful balance. And I have never had that balance. It's always been like,
you're all in.
I'm all in for ministry, even back of house stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, you need that done. Okay, I'll be there. Oh, you need this video. Okay, I'll do that. And so it's like, I've even put my photography business sometimes on the back burner. And I'm like, no, I was like, I really want that to get up and go. And I really want, because I love providing people quality photos for, I'm going to say cheap, because I feel like
affordable.
Yeah. Cause I try to, cater to people that can't afford, good photography, because we were there. Me and my husband were there. Like, I always wanted the family photos, but we were always broke. I mean, my husband was a waiter and we had a bunch of kids. So it was like, we couldn't afford that in our budget. So I like to try to provide that as much as possible to people around me. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
It's especially hard. I went through a similar thing when we first started having our kids, because I think it's more of like the fear of disappointing other people. So I guess, people pleasing to the core. And when I kind of had to step away from youth and do more like behind the scenes administrative things, it was hard because I felt like I wasn't there. And I remember when I was going through youth, the youth pastor and his wife were like both there. And so I felt like in a way I was failing to meet the like standard of being in the ministry. And because my husband's the youth pastor now, didn't share that before, but I'd still like, he reminds me all the time that I'm still doing really important things because they are it is a lot that I'm still doing for the youth, whether I'm not
Yeah.
like physically there for all the students. I get to show up when I can and just kind of just be there and kind of have a good time if I can and talk to them a little bit. But it's still getting all the things done that's necessary for the camps, but in the time that I can do it and still be there for my
Yeah.
kids. And so I understand because it's hard when you do enjoy the serving and 'cause I miss like being more involved in the camp
Mm-hmm.
and like actually being there. And now this year I'm going to bring both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, but I brought Phoebe last year and she was like 8 months old. And now I'll have both of them. And I can't obviously run and play the games with the students anymore,
Right.
but it is still fun to like watch and then
Yeah.
see my daughter be like happy to see all that too. But yeah, I totally get it because it's
It's so
so
hard.
hard, especially when you like it's fun and you actually really,
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it's not like I love photography,
mm-hmm.
but I really like shooting. Okay, so my husband is my second shooter when we do weddings, like we said earlier in the intro. But he's really good about putting the video together, and I just like shooting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I just love being. I hate putting the video together because you're up all night,
Yeah.
you know. But I really enjoy seeing the excitement on those kids' faces when they get to see themselves up there, and just like how hungry they are for the Lord. I think is what I'm gonna miss the most. I think
Yeah.
just seeing them in worship, just like in total surrender. Like you'd never, like for me, it's like it can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Like we have a bunch of kids.
And it's something I can look back on
Yeah.
again, like, and just be like, wow, that camp was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And just like
Yeah.
not forgetting those pieces. Because like it would have been cool if when I was in youth to be able to look at those. It was a lot smaller then, like significantly smaller, but it was still fun. And I have the camp t-shirts we used to get because we
Yeah.
were so small, we were able to get like our own shirts all the
Yeah.
time. So like that's what I hold on to. But I know the videos now are just like, whoa, that's cool. But like in due time, it'll happen again.
Yeah. I mean, eventually
Mhm.
Gideon will be in youth group, and if they haven't found anybody else to come in and do it, I'll totally come in and do camps. I don't know if I'll come back to youth as a youth leader. But definitely I would love to come and shoot camps or even like revive nights and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely hard. And it's like, I think I am very big on the fakeness that you see on the internet. And I think being a mom in ministry, there is even fakeness in that about how well, like, oh, I do this, this, and this, and I do this, this, and this, and I still run my household. I'm like, bull honkus. Like, what does that household look like? Like, let me know. Like, if you have got it together and can do ministry as a mom, let me know. Because that is too much. It's either you are pouring into ministry and your house is falling apart, or you're pouring into your house and your ministry is falling apart. So it's like, if you have a good balance, I would love to know.
Yeah. I think big thing I was told was your ministry is now your children because it's still equally important because now you're still training them up though to love the Lord, and that's just as important as whatever you were doing before. And I have to wrap my head around to that because even though it feels like I'm not doing anything, like I am.
Yeah, you're raising little Jesus followers. Yeah, it's definitely hard. That's kind of where I'm at, where you're at. Do you have any more questions? Maddie's always good with the questions.
I had written it down, but I guess we both kind of answered already about like changes that we've implemented in our lives or our family.
Yeah.
Because of the convictions we faced.
Yeah. Slowly just chiseling away, I think, for me. Yeah.
I think I like what you said though was when you said when your kids came and say, oh, you missed this. It's like the fact that you're setting that atmosphere where they can like come and explain that to you.
Yeah.
Is really awesome and important because I grew up with like half and half. Like we could like openly share the feelings, but But it was just the responses we got were not, at least I got, just didn't always feel like
Yeah.
it was actually welcomed, though. And so I
Yeah.
struggled so much growing up with like bottling all of my feelings, just pressing it down until I finally blew up and lost everything, all of my emotions, the control of my behavior and stuff. And so, yeah, it's awesome that you've created at least that atmosphere.
No, girl, don't let that fool you, though. Sometimes they'll come to me and I'm like, you need to go to your room. Like, we are not doing this right now. It's like my daughter. She stomps like a 400-pound man. I'm like, girl, go clean your room. She's like, no. Stop. I'm like, dang. Could hear her go up the stairs, down. But yeah, don't let that fool you. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if any parent really knows exactly
It's all
what they're
trial and
doing.
error.
Yeah. I'm like, I got 1 to adulthood. Now I got 2 now to adulthood. 50%, that's pretty good. I'll take that win. We'll see about the other ones.
It's crazy how their personalities are so different. Because I grew up, my parents are divorced. All of my siblings, basically, we all have different parents. I'm the only one from my mom and dad. But to me, I'm like, oh, it's easy to see why we'd all have different personalities because we all have different households and different raising and all this stuff. But then seeing families where all the kids grew up in the same exact household and have different personalities, it's crazy because it used to be like, oh, well, that makes sense why my sister's this way and I'm this way because we have different dads. We had different houses whenever we went to our other parent. And so, but then it's like interesting because you can't say that about your kids. It's just like we're all designed so differently.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it too, is like the individuality. And as a parent, how do you cultivate that individuality without letting them kind of rule the house, which is hard. That's another topic for another time. But yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. All right. Well, I mean, if you like this episode, go ahead and like,
subscribe,
comment.
all the things.
Yeah.